Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Tanya Smith at Get Noticed with Video, getnoticedwithvideo.com. And the question we're going to answer tonight for you is, does size really matter? Yeah, does size matter when it comes to videos? I am having the hardest time trying to adjust to using an iPhone. I'm usually an Android girl. So let me just tell you that I've tried to turn off the beeps. I'm going to work on that and make sure they don't go throughout our presentation tonight. But I do want to talk about, does size matter? So we're going to cover the answer to that question when it comes to videos, especially after you've completed your live stream. What can you do with it? How can you repurpose it and use it more effectively by resizing your video content after the fact? So that's what we'll focus on. I will be right back after the short introductory video and give people a chance to come on live to say hello. All right, see you in a few minutes. All right, everybody. So for those of you who know me, I am Tanya Smith of Get Noticed with Video at getnoticedwithvideo.com. And you know, if you've been following for some time, that I'm typically an Android girl, but I made the break, I made the move recently and went to an iPhone, the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And so I'm trying to get used to that. So just give me a little grace on that. One of the reasons, well, there's two reasons why I decided to do that before we dive into our topic. One of the reasons is that I really want to use the video capabilities that are available in the iPhone. The second reason is I'm doing more Clubhouse events. So I'll be honest and say I was kind of like, well, what the heck is this? I can't even do Clubhouse because I have Android. I've been using my iPad and that was getting to be a little clunky. Anywho, that's totally off topic because the topic for tonight is, does size matter? So I'm going to share with you 3 ways to resize your live video after the live stream. And I want to first of all go ahead and acknowledge any of you that are on with me live. Good evening. Hola, Victoria. It's wonderful to see you, ma'am. And you said you need an upgrade too. Girl, I made the jump. I made the jump. Now, if you are if you're watching rather from our Video VIPs community, which I absolutely love, it's our fantastic community on Facebook, then I definitely want to acknowledge you first and foremost and just let you know I so much appreciate you being a part of our group. So let me put the little link here where we are at Facebook group Video VIPs. This is where I spend a lot of my time just conversating and sharing tips and hopefully giving some quality value around video content. When we do these live streams, it's broadcast in multiple places. So we're definitely there inside of the group, but we're also on YouTube, Twitter, and a couple of other places as well. One of the reasons why I love to do live is because it's important to me to help service providers learn how to simplify live streaming so you can serve more people and sell more of your services. So that's what we do here at Get Noticed with Video. So again, we're going to talk about tonight resizing your video after the fact. And I'm going to share with you some of the reasons why that's relative and important for your business. The other thing I want to do is to check in and see who you are. Now, if you are inside of the Video VIPs group and I don't know you or I can't see your face, then what I want you to do is to type in, and I'm going to see if I can like copy and paste this here. We'll see, chat.restreamio/Facebook. That's crazy. Anyway, here's what I'm going to tell you to do, because if you're in the Video VIPs group, you see this special link that's in the description for this video. So click on that and give permission. Otherwise, I will see you saying, hey, lady, but I don't know who you are to acknowledge you. And I want to acknowledge you personally. Marcia, wonderful to see you here as well. Hello. For those of you who are watching from YouTube, you as well are able to comment, and I can see your comments and acknowledge you personally. So I thank you for watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Now, notice Marcia put OG at the end. If you have been watching for some time and you've been hanging out with us at Get Noticed with Video, type in hashtag OG. If you're brand new and this is your first time watching, I want to acknowledge you and give you some kudos too. So type in hashtag newbie, because I want to know that you're here for the first time, and we want to give you a congratulations and a whoop whoop. All right. The only other thing I'm going to do before we dive into tonight's content is I want to share a couple of really quick updates. We are going to, on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Central Time, so that's 9 a.m. Eastern Time for my folks that are on the East Coast. And yep, there's another OG. Yes, ma'am, Michelle. For those of you who are on the East Coast, it's 9 a.m. We're going to be hosting a webinar specifically on Wave Video, on how to use Wave Video. So let me pop that up so that you can see it. But Wave Video is a video app that I'm about to share a little bit. I'm going to share something about it in the content tonight so that you can know a little bit more about what it does. Wave Video is one of my favorite tools, and it is a favorite of mine because you can use it for miniature landing pages. You can use it for email engagement. You can use it for creating short promo videos, for intro videos, outro videos. You can use it to create ads. There's a number of different things you can do with it. And probably a couple of months ago, there was a fantastic deal on this particular tool. So a lot of you who are in my community already took advantage of that. But then you said, I don't know how to use it. How do I use it? So we're going to spend about an hour to an hour and a half on Saturday morning, and I'm going to teach you exactly what I do and share with you all my tips and techniques. Definitely get in and sign up if you're interested in learning more about how to use Wave Video. The only other thing I'll share with you in terms of what's coming up is we have the Let's Go Live Challenge, and this is probably going to be the last one for a bit because I'm right now in the process of restructuring my entire marketing strategy, from email to posts that we put out to just about everything. No, I will not be leaving my weekly live stream show because I love to do this and I love engaging and connecting with you. So that's not going away, but a lot of other things are. So this will be the last month for a while that we're going to do the Let's Go Live Challenge. I highly encourage you to get signed up. I know several people signed up a couple of days ago and yesterday as well. You'll want to sign up and make sure you get in on all the fun so that you can learn how to do live stream in a very simple way. I'm giving you 5 easy steps. By day 4, actually, you'll be going live. And then we'll have some celebrations on day 5. So that's it for the announcements. And let's go ahead and dive into our content and talk a little bit about the topic. So the topic is 3 ways to resize your live video. And I kind of took a shortcut and said, does size matter? Right? So here's the thing. I believe that size can matter when it comes to video, and for a number of different reasons. This is something you should be thinking about. If you're doing live stream video, you don't want to put all the time and effort that it takes to create something that is really high quality and relevant content for your audience and just let it sit there. Like, what else can you do with it? There are other things you can do to repurpose. So I'm big on repurposing content, but I want to show you some examples and some ways that you can repurpose it by resizing your video. So that's what we're going to talk about this evening. If you do have questions, if there's comments that you want to leave, feel free to put those here in the chat because I'm watching for those and I want to make sure that I respond and acknowledge. If you're watching the replay, just type in hashtag replay and I'll come back and scan later so I can make sure again that I am responsive to you and to what you need. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do something really quickly here. I'm going to share my screen. And I want to show you, yes, work smart, Victoria. That's right. You put that time and effort into doing your video. Why on earth would you not make really good use of the content afterwards? You want to do that. You should be doing that. We're going to talk about resizing. Let me talk about that first, and then I'm going to share my screen and show you a couple of little things that you need to see. Because sometimes some of us are visual people, especially if you're watching videos, you probably are a visual person. and you would like to see an example of what we're talking about. The reasons why you want to definitely think about resizing, besides the repurposing factor, are that it's important for you to make the best use of the real estate in which you're putting your video. So, for instance, if you're sharing your videos on LinkedIn, if you're sharing your videos on, you know that most of the people that watch are watching from a mobile device. If you're sharing them in Instagram or Facebook stories, hey, everybody has stories now. Twitter has fleets that look like stories. LinkedIn even has stories. So, if you're sharing in these different places and spaces, you want to make sure that your video content is resized appropriately so that you're making the best use of that real estate. So that really is the primary reason why this is important. But what I used to do, and I'm wondering if you did this too, what I used to do is I would go out on Google and I would search, and this is with any type of social media content, not just video. But I would go and search and I'd be like, okay, so what size do I need? What are the dimensions that I need in order to properly create an image for Instagram or to create an image for Facebook? What are the dimensions? I used to do this, and it's a big, huge waste of time. So I'm telling you, because I want this to be a shortcut for you. You don't have to do that if you're using third-party apps to create your videos and to, redesign them anyway. So Wave Video is one of those tools that I'm going to show you right now that will allow you to do this. In fact, many of the video apps that I use will do this anyway. So let's pull it up. So here's Wave Video, and you can even see from the very first page in the template section that they're showing you there's different styles and different ways in which you can resize your videos. So you've got, look, horizontal, which is the normal. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now as I'm recording this Facebook Live. It's in the horizontal mode. Square, 1:1. So 16:9 is horizontal. Square is 1:1. Let me see if I can blow that up a little bit bigger for you to make sure you can see that. Then you've got story and IGTV, Instagram TV mode, which is 9:16. And you even have a vertical 4:5, which I never ever use that, but it's available here for different reasons because you can use them for other types of social platforms as well. It's kind of a mix of or a hodgepodge of different things. And honestly, if you're using Wave Video, and you want to hover over one of these, what they call aspect ratios, which is the sizing, right? It's another phrase for what's the size or the dimensions. When you look at this and you hover over it, you will actually see, oh, hey, this is appropriate for Instagram or for LinkedIn. Oh, hey, this is great for Pinterest, right? So they're telling you. So what I'm saying is you do not have to think too hard about it. Use your shortcuts. Use the shortcuts that are there because they're there for you. And most of these show up in whatever type of platform you're using to edit your videos. Like they have a video editor that will automatically resize depending on where you're trying to take it, where you want to put it, right? Put the information. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how I personally resize and repurpose video content. And again, if you have questions, if you have comments, feel free to leave those in here. And don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss when we go live. I want to see you back here as an OG. Okay, next, let's do this. I'm going to show you. So Wave Video will do that for you, as I mentioned. And as a matter of fact, when you take your video and you get ready to edit, it will give you multiple ways that you can do it at once. So I'm going to show you right now an example of horizontal. So the 16:9, and one way that I repurposed the live stream I'm doing right now in this moment will be repurposed into a blog post. So I'm not really doing a whole heck of a lot to repurpose it into a blog post, but I am using this horizontal format because it's the most effective use of the space in my blog. So as you notice how the blog is, it's got a little sidebar on the side, and most of us either have a sidebar or we just have a full width page in our blog, but it works to have the horizontal version of my video in here. So I'm really not going to mess with the size. What I will do, however, is I will download the video, the live stream I'm doing right now, and I could embed the code into my blog. So when you're doing a Facebook Live, and I usually focus on that versus YouTube, but we're moving into the YouTube space slowly but surely. In Facebook, the benefit is that you're able to easily go after you created your live stream, right? You can go into your edit post, right, or edit video, and you can actually download the video, and you can also get the embed code. So when you copy that code, you can actually paste that over into your blog. Now, do I do all that? No, because I'm a firm believer in shortcuts, which is why we're talking tonight. And I'm sharing with you how I actually do shortcuts, right? So, what I do is I tend to take my video and I use an app called Simple Social Press. So, if you happen to go to my blog at getnoticedwithvideo.com and you go to the blog, you're going to see that underneath my video, it has powered by Simple Social Press. That is a plugin that I use. So for me, repurposing is super easy because I don't really have to do anything. If you don't use a third party plugin like that, all you've got to do is copy and paste that embed code into your blog, or have your team member or someone do that for you. You can delegate that process. Yes, Simple Social Press. Yes, yes, yes. So I love that you're able to do that using the click of a button. So after I've done my live, I literally within minutes can go over to my blog. I use a WordPress theme. I can go in there and there's a draft already created with my YouTube video, or not my YouTube video, but my Facebook video right at the top. So let me show you that one more time. So that is one way to repurpose and just to use the horizontal video view. Okay, so that's size number one that we're going to talk about. Size number two, let's talk a little bit about size number two. And so, size number two that you saw in Wave Video was the 1:1 or square. Square is really kind of versatile because you can use it in a lot of different places and spaces. Think about, and I'm going to show you my Instagram. So think about Instagram, for instance. One of the things that I've started to do now that I'm actually building my Instagram up a little bit more here and being more strategic, because it's all about the strategery, is I'm starting to create little clips, right? So this is a video clip right here based on a live video that I think I did a couple of weeks ago on Video Studio, right? So all I did is I basically repurposed my video clip, or my video itself rather, into a video clip. See if we can put this, do this, both of these. Turn that off. All right. Sorry, I'm getting used to Restream because I usually use StreamYard, but I'm testing Restream for the month of March so that I can give you a review video and do a comparison. And I really want to understand all the ins and outs of the differences. So again, when you're looking at repurposing your video into a square format, there's several different ways that you can use it. So I showed you one. Let me try to pull that up again one quick time here and see if that'll, there we go. Okay, so when you are using this, you can kind of see where I have, let me blow it up a little bit more there so you can see both. But I've got these square videos that I'm using inside of my channel, my Instagram channel. What a better way to make use of the real estate? Remember, I talked about that, than to use a square in the square space that is called Instagram. So, inside your feed is an excellent way to use that. You can also use square videos on LinkedIn. You can use them on Pinterest, although there's a better format, I think, for Pinterest that I'll show you in a second. But really, there's so many different ways you can resize these. Now, I will tell you this. I'm going to share this with you. This is just a heads up. I use a couple of different tools to help me to actually repurpose and to reformat my videos. So besides Wave Video, which we're going to talk about on Saturday morning, I'm doing the webinar. We're going to talk about all things Wave. Whatever you want to know, I'll answer for you in that webinar. But Wave can do this, but it is a little bit more manual. And what I mean by that is if you're trying to create, if you're trying, yes, these are all tools that are in my toolkit. And Kisa is saying hello from YouTube today. Yes, ma'am. Awesome. Um, all of these are tools that are in my toolkit. Yes. One of the things I would say about using Wave to repurpose, and what I mean by repurposing, let me start go back a little bit. I'm not taking my full 30 to 45-minute video that I'm doing right now. I'm not taking this full live stream video, right? And creating let's do this. I'm not taking this and putting the whole 45-minute video on my Instagram feed. They won't even let you do that. Or even LinkedIn, unless you have access to LinkedIn Live, you probably going to be limited to like a 10-minute video that you can upload into LinkedIn, right? So when I'm saying that, let me be clear because I don't think I was clear. What I'm doing is taking that 45-minute video and it becomes 3 to 4 to 5 different pieces. So I'm breaking that down into 30-second clips, 60-second clips, right? You see the value here? So that way you can take those 60-second clips and you can use those in your social media, and that becomes content that you can put all over the place, and you can point people and redirect people back to the original video. So I wanted to make sure to be clear that I'm saying that to where you're getting it and the light bulb moments are going off. I could use Wave to do that, sure, but it would be a little bit more manual work than I prefer. So there are other tools that I use, and Victoria was correct. On my website, I have a video gear page. So at getnoticedwithvideo.com, there's a gear page at the very top. You'll see it in the navigation links, and it has recommended tools, and it also has my Amazon store there. So many of these, if it's not clicking right now and you're like, I just want to go peruse and see what's up, repurpose is one of the tools that I use. I use another tool that I'm not going to share right now because we're thinking about white labeling it so that we can use it as a small agency. That's the announcement I wanted to share with you. That's a little itty bitty announcement, but I'll share more about that later on, because some of you are listening and you're watching and you're like, wow, she can do all that. I don't want to do all that, or I'm not technical. I'm not techie sav enough to do that. And that's okay, because at some point, as I get my team built up, we'll be able to do that for you. We can take your live stream video, repurpose it into multiple pieces of formats or multiple formats so that you can share it on your social. How about that? So very excited about doing that. Yes, Victoria. Because you know what triggered for me is I was doing a YouTube video. I was doing one of my live streams that I do every week. And a couple of weeks ago, somebody sent a note in the comments and they were like, can you just do it for me? And I've been thinking about it, but I'm so focused on other things that I hadn't thought about. I need to go ahead and get that agency built up. So one of the things we're really going to focus on is taking your live streams, and it's going to be focused on your live videos and repurposing those for you. But if you don't want to even wait for that and you're ready to do it now, there are ways for you to do this now. I just need you to get the ideas flowing. So I'm giving you some ideas. So the first tip we gave you first was that you could certainly use the regular 16:9. Let me pull that up again. You could use your 16:9. Blow it up, please. Let's do this. Okay. If you wanted to do the 16:9, that can work inside of a blog post, and you could do your full video, or you could break that down into 30 seconds, 60 seconds. But I wouldn't even worry about breaking down the horizontal view into those type of clips, because what you want to use instead would be the square, like I showed you here, the square. And here's another place that I'm using it. I'm using it on my LinkedIn right here. So take a look at this. So LinkedIn is a LinkedIn post. I'm using clips and pointing people back to the original video so they can watch the full episode. Or I'm pointing them back to a blog post, or I'm pointing them to a particular, there's a call to action, right, that I'm giving them. But I've got everything built into this square video. That's not only is it a clip from the full live stream video that I've done, but it also at the end has a little outro that says, hey, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and YouTube. See how creative you can get with this when you resize after the fact? That's the focus that we're talking about, is size can matter. You can do so much more if you decide to resize. So The final one that I'll show you is the vertical or 9 by 16. And this is another one that you could see on Wave. So notice on Wave again, remember I showed you that they have the story and IGTV formats that are there. So you absolutely could look at that as potential content for your Pinterest. So this is my Pinterest. Let me blow this up a little bit more so that you can see it. Here's my Pinterest. And so look at this. These are video clips that are taken from the live streams that I've done. And these are in the 9 by 16 format, the vertical. So check that out. There's just so many different things you can do. Also, this vertical view, of course, is great for stories. If you think about Instagram stories and you think about Facebook stories, that is absolutely something that you may want to think about doing, is resizing your videos after you've done your live stream into the vertical clips. And once again, pointing those to someplace else, using them for your IGTV. IGTV does have a limit. So if you're doing a 30 to 45 minute like I am, you're probably going to have to cut that, but that's okay. You can get the bulk of it or get something meaty that's a teaser to put in your IGTV space or to put in your stories and point people back to the original video. So I know these are a lot of ideas I'm kind of throwing out at you. And one of the things that I want you to know is that you don't have to learn how to do all of this. Oh, this is a great, excellent question. You're so good at what you do is leaving your 9 to 5 in the works, or did you already do so? I probably shouldn't have put that up there. But Victoria, the answer to that is I absolutely love what I do. Many people think that I am full-time in my business, and I'm not. So that brings up a point. All the things that I'm able to do are because I've learned shortcuts and I've taught myself how to put in place the right video systems. If you need help with systems and marketing strategy, because look, if I can do all that I do in a very limited window of time every day, because I do work a full-time corporate intensive position, if I can do what I do in such a small, limited time, you should be able to do more with your business. There's no excuse for us not to do more, but you have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to do it. That's why I'm here and why I do these live streams every week, is because I want to teach you the shortcuts, the strategies, the systems, and give you the easier ways so that you're not taking years to learn some of this stuff like I did. We want to simplify your streaming so that you can serve more people and sell more of your services, right? All right. So thank you for that question. Let's do a quick recap and then we'll get ready to wrap. The recap is this: that you have the ability and the potential to take a single live stream video that you do. So just think about, if you're committed to doing a single weekly live like I committed to, and yes, systems are everything, Victoria. If you take a single video that you've put the time and effort into creating, and you repurpose that into multiple sizes that are then appropriate for the real estate that you're going to place them in. So for LinkedIn, for Pinterest, for Twitter, for Instagram, can you imagine that you will never, ever run out of content? Like never, ever, never, ever, ever. And some of you who took my Repurpose Your Live Video Boot Camp last year, you know, we talked about all kinds of ways you could repurpose a video into multiple formats, not just the ways that I've shown you here. There's so many other ways to do that too. It's one of the reasons why I absolutely love video. So I do see a question. If you do have questions before we get ready to wrap, make sure you put those in the comments. I see one here. What's a good starting point for editing videos shot on your phone? Use Wave? I will tell you that I often do use Wave Video for that purpose. So that is an excellent question. So here's the thing. There's so many different ways that you can actually edit videos. There's not a single wrong way or right way. But I'll give you, because you asked, let me kind of share with you my answer. Typically what I'll do if I am creating a video that's like a quick promo type video, What I will do, and I'm going to talk more about this in the webinar. So let me make sure I put that back up in case if some of you are interested and want to actually attend the webinar, that's going to be a good one for you. What I tend to do is I record on my phone and then I will upload the video to Wave. Then from Wave on my laptop, I can then further edit. So I'll show you some tips and tricks when we talk about this in the Wave video tutorial on Saturday morning. You got to get up early, 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern, because I am going to have my cup of coffee ready and I'm going to be ready to go for this webinar and ready to teach. So bring your questions, bring your notepad, bring your pen, and we will talk about how you can use Wave. But yes, typically I use Wave, but there are so many other editors and a lot of people use a lot of different things. Some people use iMovie because they have an iPhone or an iPad and that's simpler. But then there's other more advanced tools you can use. I also use a more advanced editor. There's one called Filmora. That's the one that I use. I know that Michelle, who's watching or was watching earlier, she probably has some tools that she uses as well. I think that are in the Adobe suite. So there are just a lot of different ways that you can do it. Here's what I would suggest is start with what you have. And if you feel like, oh, I kind of have a passion for doing this editing, I don't want to outsource it. I want to do it myself and keep it simple. Then find a tool that meets your learning aptitude. So you don't want to find something that's super hard to learn where you're going to have to take classes and get a certification and know how to use it. That's just too much. We're not trying to make you a better videographer. We're trying to make you a better service provider who uses video content in their marketing. So there is a difference. All right. And I see a couple of other comments. So let's see. I saw that one. Let's see. Teresa says, I'm going to have to go back and watch this whole video. Sure thing. I'm going to try to get better, Teresa, at creating playlists so it's easier to find this stuff later on. I'm working on that. I sometimes shoot video on my Mac too. Is editing in Mac good? Yeah, I'm hearing. I don't have a Mac. I use a Windows, but a lot of people love to use their Mac to do their editing. In fact, I'm hearing that they fall in love with using a Mac for that. The one reason I haven't switched over to Mac, and I probably won't for a while, is that I have so much software for my Windows computers. I have purchased so much. I've invested way too much to just be like, okay, I'm gonna throw that out the window and go get a Mac. Let's see. Yes. So this is a great question about the webinar. If you have a conflict on Saturday, there is a replay will be available to those who register. And so absolutely feel free to register if you're interested in learning about Wave and you want to know more, but you can't make it live. If you can't make it live and you do register, don't hesitate to send me questions in advance so I can make sure I answer those during the webinar. And that way you'll have it in the recording. So if there's anything you're like, I really want to know more about this with Wave, let me know. You can send me an email or reply when you get the confirmation for the webinar. Yes, and Teresa asked as well. So same answer. Yes. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Awesome. I'll put it back up one more quick time. Oh, quick question. Did you answer about gifts being created on Wave? Yes. Actually now, let me make sure I'm clear. You know what? Because Vimeo is who added the ability to create a GIF. I think, and I'll have to double check that, Victoria. You can create GIFs. Yes, the answer is yes. Why? Actually, you can create an embedded image. Let me pull up Wave and I'll find out for you real quick. I'll see. But oh, I already have it pulled up. So let's go and just take a quick look. That would be kind of like the really cool thing if they did that. If you have Vimeo, by the way, if anybody is using Vimeo, Vimeo now has the ability to create animated GIFs. And these are, the little, you see my face moving for a couple of seconds and it loops. That's what a GIF is. You can make that from your videos, and those are excellent to share and embed inside of email. The reason why I'm double checking that is because There's a way for you to embed an image from Wave, from your video in email, but I don't think that it is animated. I think that's the one thing that they're still missing and is not there yet. So I'm looking for you real quick, Victoria, so I can answer that question. Let me see if there's anything else. Audiograms. Stop that. Ooh, this is a good question too. You did yours on Vimeo? Yes. I love that they do that now. That makes it so much easier. Audiograms, great question. Michelle, yes, they do. Wave now allows you to also create audiograms. So I'm going to show you all of this. Whoever is signing up for the class, for the webinar on Saturday morning, definitely come and ask your questions. I'm going to show you any features you want to know. And I have my own little outline of things I want to show you as well that you probably didn't know to ask about. But yes, audiograms are in Wave now too, plus a couple of other really cool features. And the thing I love about it is that it's so well branded. Like you can really brand it well with all of your branded stuff. So yeah, I'm noticing, Victoria, I do not see yet a way to do a GIF. Yeah, they don't have that just yet. But I promise you, because they keep on adding so many features, that's probably in the works. My guess is that they're going to have one. And she's branding all day with GIFs. I know. Ah, and yeah, Michelle, you can give up Headliner if you're paying a fee for Headliner, but you want to use one tool for more stuff. Wave will allow you to do audiograms as well. Now, the thing about Headliner is it may be slightly quicker and easier to do your audiograms in Headliner. But then again, no, I don't know. They're probably running neck and neck because the thing I love about Wave is that you don't just have the capability of doing the audiogram, you can do so much more. As I've already kind of given you a teaser about that. There's so many other things you can do. But yeah, you can. Here's the thing to Michelle's point about combining and merging your tools. It's something I always recommend. There's a couple of things that, for those of you who have followed me for some time, know. You know that I'm always going to tell you start with where you are. Don't go out and buy a bunch of video equipment and stuff that you may not ever use, right? Start with where you are first, get comfortable and confident in that space, and then upgrade and escalate. The same thing when it comes to duplicative tools and resources. Why would you spend a subscription fee on 3 different tools when you have one tool that can do the same thing for all of those that all those 3 combined can do? So it's very smart, and I love that you're even thinking about streamlining, and you don't even have the paid version. I see that, but just want to streamline. Yeah, if you can centralize things, the better you centralize, the more simplified your systems will be. And that includes not only video content, but everything else. Just signed up. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to pop it up there one more time. And I'm looking for any additional questions before we get ready to close it out. As always, I absolutely love being here on Thursday night. So every Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, I'm here talking about video strategy. I hope that you will subscribe and that you'll like the video as well and leave your comments and say, hey, friends, come watch Tanya because we love her stuff. I hope you'll do all of that. Come back. I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel primarily, even though I've been doing Facebook Lives for a long time now, for about a year, 2 years almost. I am trying to build up the YouTube, so definitely follow us over at Tanya Smith. It's not Getting Noticed with Video. It's at Tanya Smith on YouTube. But I would love to see you at that channel. And if I'm going to see you next week for the Let's Go Live challenge, we're going to be talking again on Monday. So I'm very excited and thrilled about speaking with you. For those of you who have signed up for the Let's Go Live challenge, we're going to talk about our 5-step process for going live the easy way. I do need to make a slight change, and I'll send out something on this, a slight change in the times that we'll do our accountability calls for next week, just because of some other conflicts that have come up, but we'll fix that. we'll make sure you know. All right, everyone. Have a good evening. I don't think I see any new comments. Yes, I do. Oh, you signed up for my course. Yay. You're so very welcome, Victoria. Wonderful. Thank you all for coming and for hanging out with me. I hope you have an amazing rest of the evening and an amazing, incredible weekend, and that you all stay safe. If there's anything I can do to answer questions about video for you, let me know. Leave your questions here in the comments if there's something that you wanted to know more about on this topic. And you can always reach out to me on any of the social platforms where I hang out. So I will see you around. And definitely next Monday for those of you in the challenge, Saturday for those of you in the Wave webinar, and Thursday for those of you who are just coming back because you love the show. All right, take care, y'all.